What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2. Y'all, I'm so excited. Episode 2, right? Of Strands and Story. This is a safe place where we talk about hair, life journeys, and struggles, and everything that shapes our hair, right? Because our hair definitely has a story. Everything we do to our hair has a story. And this is that safe place where we talk about that. But today, I don't need y'all to beat me up because we're about to talk about, I'm about to give y'all the 10 hair commandments. And I know this may ruffle a lot of feathers, but just know I come in love, right? I say this in love. If you don't agree with it, it's okay. It's okay. Leave a comment, say what you have to say, and I still love you. All right, commandment 1. Thou shalt not co-wash only. Okay, I don't know where co-washing came from. And if you don't know what co-washing is washing your hair with conditioner only. I'm not quite sure where it came from, but you always need a clarifying shampoo when you are shampooing your hair. You need to thoroughly clean it so that you can get your scalp clean, your hair clean, all of that aligns with your scalp health, as well as if you're wearing a silk press, you want your hair to be flowy and all that stuff. And if you're only washing it with conditioner, you're actually not getting it clean. So it is so important that you use a clarifying shampoo. And if you don't, you're just clogging, you are clogging your pores and the follicle, and it can actually lead to bigger hair issues that you just don't want to deal with, right? And I say all that to say, I've seen it over the years with a lot of my clients that will come in, they will be co-washing, and their scalp it will have a really heavy buildup on it. And then their hair would just be limp, it would just be really, really oily, and it will be so hard to get that out because they've been co-washing it for so long and not fully understanding the benefits of using a clarifying shampoo. But I just want to say that clarifying shampoo is your friend. You definitely want to use it. And then after you use the clarifying shampoo, get your hair clean, then you can follow up with your moisturizing conditioner, moisturizing shampoo, and then your conditioner. But always, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, please use a clarifying shampoo and do not co-wash your hair, okay? Now, let's go to the second commandment. And this one right here is gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. I think y'all know y'all be doing this. Y'all know it's bad, but you're gonna do it anyway because you wanna look cute. But thou shalt not use excessive heat. Yes, I'm talking to you, the one that gotta curl your hair just to walk to the mailbox, or gotta curl your hair just to go to the grocery store. Girl, you do not have to curl your hair and touch up your edges every single day. So my thing is, I always recommend that if you just have to use heat, say for instance, you have a customer facing job or you're in front of people and you just have to look the part, try to limit heat styling to 1 time a week. If you tie your hair up at night, use rollers, anything of that nature. That should definitely help and prevent you from having to use so much heat. But limit heat styling to 1 time a week if you must use heat. If it's not that important, you don't have a customer facing job, you're not around people like that, then you could do 1 time per month. I do the 1 time per month, or at least I try to. There are times when I've had to do a little bit more. Actually, I got a story real quick. So this is many, many years ago, right? You meet somebody, you like them, y'all kicking it, you going to his house all the time. You want to wake up cute. So I was not tying my hair up every night. I was waking up every morning. I was curling it. And I kid you not, a month or 2 later, I looked up and I was bald head. My hair was so broken off, y'all, from getting up and curling it every day that I had to figure something out. So I eventually started using satin rollers at the time, just so I looked kind of cute when I went to bed, but I didn't have to wake up and use the heat. So yeah, definitely just try to refrain from using the heat. You want to use rollers, limit heat styling, tie your hair up at night, because if you are using curlers every day, you are going to regret it. Now, if you don't care, if your ultimate goal is not to grow your hair out and you don't mind having broken hair and you want to be bald head, it's okay. Use as much heat as you want, but I would not recommend that. So definitely limit the heat styling, ladies, okay? Commandment 3, let's see. Whew. I don't even want to say this one, y'all. Thou shalt not put glue on your edges. I see you looking over. Y'all, my sister over there, she just gave me the side eye. So, what you was about to say? You want to hear me out first? Yeah. Okay. So, thou shalt not put glue on your edges. I'm going to say that because, one, your edges are very delicate. They break so easy. For two, you may only get one set of edges. Like, I've seen people get into fights or they've gotten a tension hairstyle where their edges have come out and it just has never grown back. So I just feel like when you put glue on your edges, I've seen it so many times, you might not get those edges back. One day you will not want to wear wigs. You want to wear your real hair, and you just want to make sure you're keeping them healthy. So I understand that a lot of women do like the lace frontal wigs, but I'm sure there is a way that you can install them. You know what? I ain't gonna say I'm sure there's a way. I've seen it before. I've never done it, but there is a way that you can install them to where you don't have to use all of that glue. Am I wrong? Is there a way that you could do it without glue?
It is a way. We have glueless.
Okay, so there are glueless wigs. So I would recommend, if you don't care about your edges, hey, do your thing. Glue them all you want. But I've never met a woman that has sat in my chair in over 20 years that has said, I don't care about my hair. All women eventually want to come out of extensions. They want to be able to wear their real hair. And if you don't have edges, it just makes it really difficult to do certain styles and you just don't feel as confident. So that is why I say, thou shalt not put any glue on your edges. Okay? Don't beat me up, y'all. All right. Commandment 4. So I think when I say this, y'all may call me a hypocrite, right? Because I'm sitting here with colored hair. But I can back it up. So commandment 4 is thou shalt not use bleach on your real hair. If your ultimate goal is for your hair to be healthy, I have never seen a person get ahead with colored hair. Colored hair is beautiful. I enjoy it, but to get this color, I've never bleached my hair. I will put bleach in my extensions if I want lighter highlights, but I've never used bleach on my hair. There are colors that you can use that can lift your hair up to what you think you need bleach to use. It just may be a process. You may not get it your first visit when you go to the stylist, but over time you can eventually get it. But it's just so much risk that comes along with hair color in general. But when you are using bleach, you are breaking down the bonds in your hair and it just makes your hair a lot weaker. So if your ultimate goal is to grow your hair, I would highly recommend that you stay away from bleach. I know the colors look beautiful when you see other people with it, but everything is not always for everybody, right? Some people may not care about the health of their hair, but if that's important to you, stay away from it. And even if you meet a stylist that says, oh, I could do it and we're just gonna do these treatments, your hair will be fine, it's not gonna fall out, they are lying to you. I've never met, even my leave out right now, I didn't use bleach, but just having color alone, I still experience breakage. So just keep in mind that you may encounter those type of issues when you do color, and definitely when you do bleach. Like, it ain't a matter of if your hair gonna break is when it's gonna break. It is definitely gonna break off. So be mindful of that. Yeah. So let's go to commandment 5. You got something to say? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at my assistant as I say this, y'all.
Color is good.
Color is good?
That's just it. It's like, okay, this is funny, but I just say it's on life support. So you just gotta
that's a good way to put it. So what she said is color is good. It's not a bad thing. She's right. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But she said your hair is on life support when you get color. That's a good way to put it. Which would make me feel like I don't want color because now my hair is on life support this whole time. Like, how does that even sound? So what I said kind of makes sense, but what she said makes sense too. So you just got to look. Pick your battles. What you want to deal with. You want to be on life support or you want your hair to be thriving. You pick what you want. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this one right here is a good one. I can't tell you how many times I have had to explain to people why they can't do this. Thou shalt not dye previously colored black hair. I have gotten so many clients that will come in, they dyed their hair black, and they want to go blonde, or they just want some sort of color. It is so difficult to lift black off the hair that I got to the point where a few times of trying, in my earlier days of styling hair, you want to give the clients what they want, right? You want to try to make everybody happy. And of course, after doing that, I would just encounter so many botched color jobs that I just said, you know what? I'm not dealing with, if you got black hair and you want to go lighter, I'm not doing it. So then they would go somewhere else. They would get another stylist to do it. The stylist would put bleach on their hair, color remover, all of that. And they end up just completely frying their hair. So if you have previously dyed your hair black, if you want color, I would recommend that you allow it to grow out completely or cut it out, or just maybe add highlights like with extensions. So your hair is black, add maybe some clips or something that has some color in it. But if you find a stylist that says that they can lift your hair from black, you better believe your hair is about to be towed up. If that makes sense. So if you have black, if you know you want to eventually color your hair, don't dye your hair black. If you've dyed your hair black, you don't want to cut your hair to get the color, you got to let that grow out, sometimes 2 and 3 years. And even when you think it looked like it has grown out, it's still there. I have done so many strand tests. You put the dye on and the roots will color. It will be perfect, but the ends will not color because the black just will not lift. And even if it does lift a little bit, it's always like really brassy. It may have a lot of red in it, a lot of like orange undertones and stuff. And it's just not an even color. So if you can, just don't do that. Got black hair, don't try to dye it. What you got to say?
Or it's time to turn green.
It turned green, right. And I'm sure you don't want green hair. So yeah, it's like a dead end road. Don't do it. You dyed your hair black. Don't try to dye another color. Just stick with black. Like, you're just gonna be black for a few years, right? So yeah, you don't want to run into those kind of problems. So let's go to the next one. I know y'all probably fussing me out already, and we only on what commandment? We on 6 now. All right. Thou shalt get regular trims. Okay, she rooting for me over there, y'all. Y'all can't see her, but she agrees with me on this. You want to get regular trims. Most people will say 6 to 8 weeks. I think this can vary depending upon the individual, right? But I think between 6 and 10 weeks is safe. If you do 6 weeks, you may only need a dusting. The longer you wait, the more you may have to trim. But trimming your hair is beneficial to retain length. Your hair is always growing. But if you feel like your hair has been the same length for the last 2 or 3 years and you haven't gotten a trim, that is likely why. What's happening, your hair is growing, but because you have dead ends, it's constantly breaking up, going up the shaft, and you can't retain any of your length. So that is why, and me and a lot, sorry guys, me and a lot of other hairstylists would always recommend a trim if you truly want to retain your length. And it's kind of like when, let's say, the analogy that I normally use is, say for instance, your lawn, it's beautiful, it's green, the grass is growing, it looks great. But then these weeds start popping up, right? And you let the weeds just kind of sit. You don't treat them. You don't do anything. Eventually, those weeds will take over your entire yard, and your grass will not be as pretty as it was before just because of the weeds. So you want to look at your hair the same way. If you don't get a trim and you let the split ends take over, your hair it's not gonna look good, right? It's not gonna look polished. You're not gonna retain the length. So that is why you want to always get a trim. No matter, even if you don't want to. Like, I have aunts and cousins, they're probably watching this right now. They don't like to get a trim. I try to talk them into it when they would come get their hair done. They'll get a little something, but they didn't like to get trims. I don't know, it's something like old days, people didn't believe in cutting their hair, but I think I've seen it before. When I would trim my hair, it would just grow. I'm not gonna say it would just grow back much healthier, but it would grow healthier and I would retain all of my length. So I think y'all understand me on that one. Okay, so the next one, this kind of goes back to the story I told earlier. So thou shalt always cover your hair at night. When you go to bed, you want to either wrap your hair, roll your hair. This will keep you from having to heat style it in the morning. And then also, when you're sleeping directly on the cotton pillowcases, like, one, you're drying your hair out, and two, you're just messing up your style. So you want to definitely tie your hair up at night so that you can maintain your style. And then I know a lot of people like to sleep on the silk pillowcases. I don't. I feel like they make me sweat, so I don't sleep on them. But if it's comfortable for you, try a satin pillowcase if you just refuse to tie your hair up at night. But some of us just don't have that type of hair where we could just go to sleep and wake up and we gonna look cute. Like, if I just go to sleep and don't tie my hair up, I am going to sweat. Like, my neck is going to be hot. I'm not going to have curls. One side going to be smushed. I just like to save myself like a whole lot of trouble when I wake up in the morning, so that when it's time to go, I can comb my hair out of the wrap or take my rollers out and my hair still looks good, and it actually it actually lasts. So definitely always tie your hair up at night. Okay. Commandment 8. Thou shalt not try every trendy style. So everything is not for everybody. And especially living in the age now with social media, YouTube, celebrities, like, we see so many people with different styles and looks that looks really good on them, right? But we all have to keep in mind that everybody's hair type, texture, density, like, everybody has, like, we're all dealing with different things, right? So what may work for somebody else may not actually be good for you, and you just don't want to get caught up in the trend of trying everything that seems to be hot and that looks good on everybody, because that may not work for you. And then if you do go see a stylist and she tells you, hey, I don't recommend that you should do this, like, truly respect what she is trying to tell you, because it is definitely for your good. So just kind of like weigh all your options to see which may work best for your lifestyle. Not only your hair type and your texture, but what may work best for your lifestyle. Like, I can't tell you how many times, and this was many years ago, when 28 inches and 30 inches was like a super hot thing, right? all the girls wanted super long hair, bust down middle part, hair down to your back. And I would have women coming in here that work in corporate America, and I would ask them, okay, well, are you sure you want 28 inches? Where do you work? Okay, is this gonna look good with your suit? And then they sit back and they say, they'll say, you know what? You're right. This may not work for the type of job that I do. Or this may not work because I know I'm not going to try to keep up 28 inches of hair. Or even like if you decided you wanted tape-ins, right? But maybe you're going through menopause and you sweat a whole lot. Tape-ins will not work for you because you constantly sweating your scalp. So it's things like that you have to consider when you decide on getting a style based on what you've seen on somebody else. Just make sure you consult with your stylist and truly tell her, what your life is like and what you expect and what your ultimate goals are before you go into a hairstyle. All right, commandment 9. Oh, this is a good one. Thou shalt eat well and drink plenty of water. I say that because what you have going on internally is a direct reflection to your hair. When you're stressed out, it shows. When you don't eat protein, it shows. When you don't drink water, it shows. Definitely, like with the water, I can see it a lot of times. Clients will have flaky scalp. When you eat a lot of, even eating a lot of bread, I've seen people get a yeast buildup in their scalp. So everything you put in your body, it plays a role in the health of your hair. So you definitely want to be mindful to make sure that you are eating lots of vegetables, drink a lot of water, eating a lot of protein. I had a client one time, this many years ago, her hair was breaking off so bad. We hadn't changed anything. Like we were, at one point in time, it was flourishing. And then we went through a season where it was breaking like all the time. And I kept saying, what are we doing different? What are you doing different? So I had to talk to her because, as you know, growing hair is a teamwork effort when you have a hairstylist, right? I'll do what I can when you come in. I'll give you your treatments. I'll wash your hair. I'll trim it. I'll give you tips on what you need to do when you go home. But you also have to do your end while you're do your part while you're at home. So when you come back, we meet in the middle and your hair is growing. So anyway, let me go back to the story. So her hair was breaking. We could not figure out why, or I couldn't figure out why. She knew exactly what was going on. So the more I started talking to her, I found out that she had went vegan. So she completely took meat out of her diet. She was not getting any protein, and it showed in her hair. It was breaking like crazy. We had to do a lot of protein treatments, but eventually she went back to meat. But I'm just saying all that to say what you put in your body definitely shows through your hair, even down to like if you feel like your hair is dry, that sometimes it's a direct reflection of what's going on internally. Like I've had a lot of clients who may have dry hair that are going through menopause. I see that a lot. So yeah, just be mindful of what you're putting in your body. I hope that makes sense to y'all. All right, what's the next one? Are we on 10? Oh yeah, so this is 10. Thou shalt be patient with your hair. So just know that having healthy hair, just the whole hair journey is a process. Trust your stylist, trust the process. Know that you can get your hair back on track as long as you are doing what you are supposed to do at home. Your stylist is doing what she's supposed to do. And just know it will take time. Anything in life, right, that you're trying to get to, it's like baby steps. Just doing something every day that gets you closer to that goal, and just be patient. Just be patient. So yeah, those are the 10 hair commandments. I would love to know what you guys think about that. Do not beat me up in the comments. I'm letting y'all know that now, because even if y'all beat me up, I still love you. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you are following us on social media. Follow Go Sleep, but then also follow Strands and Story. And I think that's it. I want to make sure I ain't leave anything off. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time for episode 3. Thank you so much for joining.